What's juicy? So today I'm here with a story time. It's been a long time since I did a story time. It's been like forever. It's been like 2 years since I did a story time video. My name is Raven. For those of you who are new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at rayvenrenai, because that's the best way to contact me. And about the time that I got into it with my team lead, okay? So this all took place at this job that I worked at when I had lived in Houston. I mentioned this before on my channel where it was an unprofessional job interview where I was like, oh, like the HR lady, she interviewed me and she told the guy who interviewed me after her not to hire me because she felt like I was a job hopper. And she was really, really rude and she didn't like me. And she was really pissed off that I got hired at this place. This is that same job. Also, I was trying to tell the story before, like it was like my second day living in that apartment that I stayed at when the door had slammed shut. So this is that same story I was trying to tell you guys about, but I'm finally telling the story. What happened was I was working at this call center, and the first week on the job, you learn about the company, you learn about what it is that you're going to be doing, you're going to role play and everything. The second and third week of the job is a thing that's called A-Base, so which means you're still in training, but you're taking phone calls. So the team lead, let's call her Kayla, she was in charge of the A-Bay portion for the new hires. So I am on the phone, whatever, and she decides she wants to listen to phone calls. Okay, cool, whatever. So she pulls my call first. So this is all live. So while I'm actually on the phone with this customer, she is listening in. So she's listening in with the speaker up, all the way turned up. So I'm like on this call, and I don't remember necessarily what this call was about, but I remember that it was something that we did not handle. So she was telling me what to tell the customer, like, oh, Raven, tell him that we don't handle that, you know, suggest this, that, and the other. And so I did, and then the guy, he kept talking to me and, you know, suggesting other things, and he told me what happened. You know how customers are if you work at a call center, they like to talk, okay? So, you know, I answered any questions that he had, I suggested stuff to him, you know, everything was cool. So Kayla's listening, she's still listening in on this call or whatever, and then she says, Raven, say this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay. So I told him, and then at the same time, like I'm listening, I'm just like, yo, like there's a very bad echo. This echo was like so distracting because it was, I was hearing myself talk. Opposed to hearing the customer, I was mostly hearing myself talk, and it was distracting because she had the volume all the way up. So I turned around and I was like, you know, asking her to turn it down. This happened, didn't turn it down. So I'm still continuing on with this call, and I'm like, yo, like this is really distracting. Like I cannot hear. And so I'm like, can you turn it down? And she didn't turn it down again. She just looked at me. And so I'm just getting really pissed off at this point because here I done asked you like 2 times already to turn it down, and you have yet to turn it down. I asked her a few more times. I kept turning around signaling her, can you turn it down? Turn it down some more, you know. And she didn't, like, she never turned it down at all. And so she tells me, she says, Raven, you know, this, that, and the other. And then I was like, okay, but when I asked you to turn it down, you turn it down. And she got pissed off at that point. And my coworkers who was near me, it was like, yo, Raven, like, calm down. Like, shh, don't say nothing, you know. And then the boy who was the first, like in the first seat that was next to her, because how it was, like, listen, let me use my arm as a prime example. So she sat like she sat right here. And then there's like a whole row right here. So there's people that's like sitting on this side and that side. Okay. And then there's this side right here, which is where I'm sitting at. And I'm literally the third seat, and we're like squished together. So I mean, I hear everything. The volume is loud. Okay. And I asked her to turn it down, and this chick cannot turn it down. Like, are you stupid or dumb? Do you not know how to do it? Like, do you want me to come over here and show you how to do it, girl? she was annoying. So she ended up cutting it off, and my coworker who was sitting next to me, who was my friend, she was like, Raven, like, don't say nothing, just chill, just ignore her, she just wants you to get mad. And I was like, I done asked her a million times to turn it down, and she couldn't turn it down. Like, I'm trying to like take this call, I can't hear her. And then she was like, but don't say nothing, don't argue, don't go back and forth with her because she could get you fired. I was like, I don't care, I don't freaking care, like, I don't, like, this is not my career, boo. Like, I don't need this job. Like, and she heard me when I said that. So she got up and she went to, let's see, the manager, the full manager of this department, right? His name is Juan. She goes to him and she's like, okay, I don't know what she says to him, but I'm finishing up this call. You know, at this point, I'm done with the call. I'm documenting the account. She comes by, she says, Raven, when you finish with that call, Juan would like to see you in his office. And I'm looking like, so everybody looking like, no, this bitch did not just tell. Like, she did not just tell. And I'm like, like, I don't care. Like, boo-hoo, go run to the manager and tell, I don't care. And so, the guy next to me, he was like, ooh, Raven, you about to get fired. You about to get fired. And I was like, at this point, I don't care. It's like, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't care. So, I go to his office, and it's me, Kayla, and Juan. And he's like, hey, so I never got the chance to meet you. Who interviewed you? I told him who. And he was like, yeah, because I didn't get to interview you. And he was like, so according to Kayla, you guys were going back and forth on the floor. And she told me her side of what happened. So I want to hear your side of what happened. So I told him what happened. I told him, like, yeah, I'm on this call, you know, and the customer's calling in about this, that, and the other. And, you know, Kayla was giving me feedback on what to say to him. And then she had the volume too loud. And I asked her a million times if she could turn the volume down because it's too loud. Because I hear a really bad echo on the phone, and instead of me hearing the customer, I am hearing myself. She goes, well, it's not even that loud. Like, she's the only one complaining. Nobody else is complaining. Nobody else said nothing. And I'm looking like there was a few other people that said something. Like, when you got up and left, it was like, yeah, it is distracting, you know. And so Juan was like, since I didn't get to interview you, I don't know if you ever worked in a call center before. Have you worked in a call center before? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, but we work in a call center and we listen to phone calls. We have to monitor calls. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, you know. And we did that at my other call center jobs too. And he was like, okay, well, when they listen to your call, like, how did they do it? I was like, well, they had headphones in. They had the volume down and they had headphones in. If they didn't have the headphones in, they just had the volume down. If they had the headphones in, then, you know, whatever. They could cut it up as loud as they wanted to, but it was never to the point where it was distracting. And he was basically coming at me, talking about, like, you have to understand that people are going to listen to your phone calls. And, you know, that's this business. And I'm like, yo, like, I'm not saying that I have an issue with people listening to my call. Like, I don't care if people's listening to my calls, you know. My issue is that this chick had the volume all the way up and she would not cut it down. That's the only thing I am tripping about. Like, he was clearly stupid too, you know, like, clearly two stupid people together. And I'm trying to have a full conversation and tell these Negroes, like, yo, like, my only issue is she had the volume up. I asked her repeatedly to turn the freaking volume down, but girl couldn't do that. And you're too stupid too that you couldn't pick up on what I'm saying. Like, my gosh, I've never met two stupid people like back to back in the same room like that before. So anyways, he was like, okay, well, you know, there's a time and place for everything. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I'm like dehydrated. He's like, there's a time and place for everything. And, you know, on the floor, it's not that time. So, basically, he took Kayla's side on the whole thing. And then he talked about some, you know, we're working on trying to get some headphones, you know, for the team leads and stuff, you know. And I'm just like, clearly you are slow because you're talking like that. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, Jesus be offense. And they think people in Detroit are stupid. Like, but this fool talking like, oh, yeah, we're trying to get some headphones. Like, come on, bruh. Anyways, so at that point, he let me leave out the office and Kayla stayed behind and talked to him, you know. She was telling him like stuff like I'm over exaggerating the situation and you know, that I was lying. And I heard her say this, like I was lying. So I went back. I went to the lady who like referred me to the job and I said, she was on the call, I said, when you finish, come talk to me. And so at that point, she already knew. She knew at that point, like, yo, something done just went down. So she finished up her phone call. She got up. I went outside, you know, to wait for her. And she brought the manager guy who had originally like interviewed me, the one who was told not to hire me. So we go outside and we were talking and I told them what happened. And, you know, the guy was like, okay, I'm going to talk to Juan, you know. I'm going to talk to him. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. So I go back to my seat, you know, continue with the call. I mean, these other calls. And then the guy next to me, he was like, oh, Raven, like, what happened? I told him. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I shouldn't have been joking like that. I was like, no, it's cool. Like, it's whatever. And then everybody just kept saying, like, I can't believe that she went to go snitch. Like, that's a pussy move. Who goes snitch? Like, it wasn't even that serious to go snitch, you know. So, she went back and she continued to listen to my phone calls. And so the other phone calls, she gave me a perfect score on. So at that point, like, I had saw the lady who had, like, the lady who referred me to work for the job, she had got up. I saw her like walk in front of me and I was like, she about to go talk to Juan. Like, I just know it. And so she went to go talk to Juan. And then after that, like, she went to Kayla and pulled Kayla to the side and talked to her as well. I don't know what was said, but Kayla's whole demeanor changed, okay? Like, now she wanted to be nice to me and stuff like that. And I don't know, I guess she wasn't expecting me to stand up to her or whatever. I don't know. But Kayla, you come for me, boo, I'm coming for you too, okay? Like, I'm not scared of you, okay? Like, you may be from Houston, boo. I don't care where you're from because you all talk. Nobody's scared of you. And like, the whole issue was, and I know the one thing that the lady had told Juan was that Kayla does nothing. Kayla literally did not do anything, okay, at work. She literally sat there at the desk and would be on Facebook all freaking day. And then there were her friends who were on the team. Apparently they had like the best scores, like out of everybody who worked for that company. But if you put their like numbers, like how many phone calls they've done compared to everybody else's, they've only did a few calls. Like, they will only do like 4 calls out of the whole 8 hours, while everybody else is doing way more calls than that. And their like ratio is like low, you know. It's not perfect, but these people, they got perfect like 100s because they're not doing anything. Like, you know, of course their numbers is going to be high if they are not doing nothing. So they would literally go up to the desk with her and like they'll be watching Facebook videos. They will be talking, you know, all that stuff while everybody else is working. And then she would be like, oh, there's 5 calls in holding. Oh, Raven, what's your call time? But your friends are standing there talking, you know, like, what the heck? Like, and even when I was like the first day in Ipsy, like, you were supposed to sit next to somebody and listen to them take phone calls. But the girl who I was sitting next to, who was Kayla's friend, like, she was like, oh, I'm going to let you take the phone calls because that's that's the only way that you're going to learn is if you actually take phone calls yourself. And so I did all the calls. I didn't even listen to her do any calls. I did all the calls, okay? While she did nothing. Okay, and she was like, oh, and don't mess up my ratio, because my ratio is perfect. Like, I'm one of the best on the team. And I'm looking like, bitch, you don't do shit. Like, I already know. Like, you don't do shit. Like, I'm clearly seeing this, like, firsthand. Like, you know, I done seen you get up and go to the bathroom or get up and go talk multiple times. So, bruh, that was literally the most annoyingest job that I ever had. Apparently, that business is not even there anymore, but it's still like an act. They have other companies and stuff like that. Kayla apparently is still there. Juan is still there. You know, they're going to be stuck there for the rest of their lives. Okay, boo. While they see me on national television getting paid. Hello. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications. And I'll see you in the next video.